Hello and welcome to V News. Coming up next, we bring you our top stories. National Day atmosphere overwhelms all streets in Hanoi. Hoi An promotes cultural cooperation with Japan. Street of antiques in the center of Ho Chi Minh City. Festive atmosphere is trickling into every corner of the capital city of Hanoi as the country is celebrating the 70th anniversary of National Day, September 2nd. Hanoi streets have recently been given a facelift with flags, hoardings, banners, lights and flowers everywhere. 9 LED screens have been placed in the city's major public attractions to show footages of the August Revolution and National Day. The National Day has become a joyful event for the people of Vietnam. These days, Hanoi looks beautiful and local people are very excited. I am personally very happy and touched as I was a soldier experiencing the war. I can see a lively atmosphere here. Decorations can be seen everywhere to welcome the festival day. According to the Municipal Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism, all agencies, schools, hospitals and homes in the city start hanging the national flag from September 1st to the end of September 2nd. However, many days before the festive day, the national flag has flew all over the streets in Hanoi. The atmosphere makes us remember the day of liberation. I am waiting for a grand meeting at Ba Đình Square on September 2nd and feel happy. On September 29th, from 4 p.m. to midnight, vehicles were not allowed to enter 40 streets in downtown Hanoi, as the areas are reserved for the National Day Parade's final rehearsal. Similar closure will also take place from 9 p.m. on September 1st to 2nd, when Vietnam celebrates the anniversary of the historic day. The Ministry of Construction has recently asked local authorities nationwide to quicken the building of social housing in a bid to comply with the National Housing Development Strategy. Among the requests was to simplify administrative procedures in determining those borrowers eligible for preferential loans from the government's $1.33 billion support package for the realty market. In addition, coordination with the State Bank of Vietnam and credit institutions was needed to tighten inspections and prevent abuses during the implementation of the preferential loan package. The Ministry of Construction reported as of the end of July, only 1/3 of the support package had been disbursed, some 2 years after having been implemented. The ministry urged developers to complete legal documents for social housing projects to allow early granting of home ownership certificates to buyers. To date, the construction of 102 social housing projects were completed, while 150 others are underway throughout the country. Minister of Construction Trinh Định Dũng, on a television program broadcasted last month, said low-income housing projects still lag far behind demand due to the lack of funds and incentives. The country needs an estimated 200,000 apartments for low-income earners by 2020, adding to the 700,000 units built during the 2012 to 2015 period. In unrelated news, the Ministry of Construction has also approved a detailed plan on restoring, preserving and promoting values of the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel relic site. More in the following.
Under the plan, about 18.3 hectares will be zoned off for the site, covering the ancient citadel and the 18 Hoàng Diệu archaeological area. The planning aims to connect the citadel's heritage samples, architectures and technical infrastructure with the Ba Đình political center and its vicinity. More trees will be planted while yards and pathways will be upgraded to connect significant relics in the site. Điện Biên Phủ, Phan Đình Phùng, Hoàng Diệu and Nguyễn Tri Phương streets will be used to access the citadel. More importantly, the construction must not leave negative impacts on the relic and archaeological areas. The Ministry of Construction will be responsible for supervising the implementation of the plan.
Vietnam will strive to rake in $300 billion from exports by 2020, with an annual growth rate of 11 to 12%. That is the target set in a plan on export market expansion from now till 2020, freshly approved by Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng. Under the plan, the country will also attempt to balance its trade by 2020 and subsequently record continual trade surpluses. To reach these goals, efforts will be exerted to enlarge market shares in traditional export markets, including ASEAN, Northeast Asia, the US, and the EU. Market diversification is also a pillar of the plan, with a focus on increasing exports to new markets such as Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. Reducing the country's dependence on core export markets is considered a way to minimize risk from market, economic, and political changes. Supporting businesses to take part in trade promotion activities in export markets and expand distribution channels in the US and the EU are important measures. The scheme also emphasizes the need to exploit and take full advantage of opportunities arising from tariff cuts and the removal of non-tariff barriers, as prescribed in free trade agreements that Vietnam already signed with partners. Vietnam fetched about $19.3 billion from export of agro-fishery forestry products in the first 8 months of this year, down 4.8% over the same period last year. More details coming up next.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development reported that the value of agro-fishery forestry product exports was estimated at $2.38 billion in August alone. In the 8-month period, seafood exports reached about $4.13 billion, down 17.5% year-on-year, while earnings from forestry products enjoyed an 8.2% increase to $4.52 billion. Among agricultural products, rice, rubber, and coffee saw the strongest falls in export revenues. Rice exports brought home only $1.76 billion with 4.09 million tons, down 15% in value and 8.6% in volume. Similarly, coffee shipments amounted to 874,000 tons, worth $1.79 billion, down 33% in both value and volume. Rubber exports stood at 632,000 tons for nearly $922 million, marking an 11% growth in volume but a 10% decrease in value over the same period last year. Meanwhile, pepper and cashew nuts were the spotlights of farm-produced exports due to their rising values by 28% and 13% respectively.
A Hoi An, Japan cultural exchange program took place in the ancient town of Hoi An on August 29th. The exchange is an annual event which is expected to promote the friendship between the two people. In addition to cultural and sports activities such as folk games, haiku calligraphy, photographing with yukata, folk art shows and bonsai displays, there are also crafts and fine arts contests. As part of the event, Hoi An and Japan will promote environmental protection with parades and forums calling for a cleaner and non-smoking tourist site in Hoi An. The program was organized by the People's Committee of Hoi An and the Embassy of Japan. Situated in the center of Ho Chi Minh City, Le Công Kieu Street is known as a destination for antique lovers and dealers both within the country and regionally. Join us as we visit the street.
When mentioning Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, people always think of a dynamic and bustling city. Located near Bến Thành Market in the city center, the 200-meter Le Công Kieu Street, however, is quiet. It's one of the oldest streets in the city and was formerly just an alley. In 1955, it was named after Le Công Kieu, an army chief of an anti-French uprising in the second half of the 19th century. The street gathers many antique dealers and has created a community. The antique owners have had the business in their family for generations, displaying various kinds of antiques in the shops.
I have had my business for 20 years. In Ho Chi Minh City, antiques are sold only in this street, attracting local collectors. The street is also a tourist site for visitors.
Tourists who visit the streets are surprised by the large number of antiques displayed in the shops. There are many items they have never seen before.
I heard about the street. I visited it because I am very interested in collecting vinyl discs. I have a collection of about 5,000 discs and I'm looking for some here.
Different from other business streets, visitors can walk on Lê Công Kiều Street in peace without being harassed. Some visitors come here not to buy anything, but to enjoy the ancient architectural design or talk to local residents.
I crossed the street by chance. I am interested in the ancient architectural balconies with flowers. It looks like the old French design. The curves are really attractive to me. The people here are very kind. They always smile when they talk to me. It is what I want to see.
The quiet street is home to centuries-old antiques, some of which date back thousands of years. The buyers have to study the terms by themselves. The sellers do not show extreme warmth when the customers come, but leave the door open for them to contemplate the antiques as long as they wish. Most antique dealers and buyers are friends who share the same interests. Most high-value antiques owned by Nguyễn Văn Quỳnh, a collector in the city, were found in Lê Công Kiều Street.
We consider Lê Công Kiều Street a place to seek our favorite antiques. Collectors can find precious ancient items there, which are not on display.
Some people collect different kinds or types of antiques, such as lamps, clocks, sculptures, or cameras. Queen's collection of China items includes high-value plates.
Collectors and traders often evaluate an antique based on 4 categories: design, material, intactness, and date. Those who want to learn about antiques must have a passion and knowledge about these items. Buyers as well as dealers in Lê Công Kiều Street are those who thoroughly understand the values of the goods by their hearts and eyes.
Each ancient item in Lê Công Kiều Street has its own value. Learning about antiques is like discovering a mysterious world. It requires knowledge and feelings deep inside the heart of the players.
And that was the end of our news bulletin. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please log on to our website at www.vietnamplus.vn. We'll see you soon.